When a natural hazard strikes in the Caribbean region, the housing sector is severely affected. In the aftermath of Hurricanes Irma and Maria in 2017, the consequences of poor construction practices became even more evident. In the region, many houses are still constructed by the informal building sector, in which small artisans often have limited understanding of government compliance requirements, if such requirements do exist. Against this backdrop, the Caribbean Development Bank, in July 2018, hosted a workshop for planners and building inspectors from 16 of its borrowing member countries. They received training on improved practices for the construction of houses and visited construction sites to observe building more resiliently in action. The session incorporated and built upon the construction practices reflected in the Regional Code of Practice, which was developed by the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency (CDEMA) and prepared by the Caribbean Regional Organization for Standards and Quality in consultation with relevant professionals and institutions back in 2005. This code, however, only makes provision for the construction of houses that can withstand up to Category 3 hurricanes, so the training was enhanced to include considerations for Category 5 hurricanes. Some of the participants were from Caribbean countries now rebuilding after the catastrophic impact of the 2017 Atlantic hurricane season.
First thoughts were relief, to know that we have support and to know that there are solutions to aid in building back resilience.
I learned a whole lot of stuff. Some things we do, but there are a lot of new concepts that I think we can use in our country.
Definitely, and not just from the facilitator, because we had varied islands here and persons do things in different islands differently. So even the knowledge transfer would have been essential. It really came out during the workshop.
One of the things that was outstanding in the course was the connections to roofs.
It was very informative and I feel empowered actually. So I would definitely say it was a very good week, well spent.
Of course, this was a training of trainers exercise, which means that those who attended the workshop in Barbados are expected to, in turn, train and advise artisans and small contractors upon returning to their home countries. To facilitate this sharing of information, CDB will provide support for the hosting of local training workshops.
I hope to incorporate some of the new things I've learned into the DCA's approval process in approving development applications. And secondly, I'm really looking forward to the national consultation that Caribbean Development Bank is planning with each territory so that we can impart what we have learned to our local building practitioners.
The next step for me and my colleague would be to try and, well, not try, but we would like to host a national seminar, workshop seminar for small contractors that we could try and get them to understand the concepts, why certain things are done, and to implement it into their working construction techniques.
I think critically, we have to get to the contractors. The contractors plays a critical role in the rebuilding process, and I think that educating the contractors in the right way to do things, that is of paramount importance moving forward. Right, so even the national workshop that will be coming up in the next few months, this in and of itself will help in the whole rebuilding process as we seek to build a resilient country.
When completed, nearly 350 people across the region will better understand how to build more resiliently. And when they take to construction sites, they will also be building hope among Caribbean people who want their homes to be less vulnerable when hurricanes or similar events strike. The July 2018 workshop was coordinated by CDB's Caribbean Technological Consultancy Services Network and was conducted in collaboration with Warburton College, an accredited building construction training institution in Barbados, and CDEMA.